Picture this. It's your wedding night in 1450, and you're hiding a small glass vial filled with chicken blood in your pearl necklace. Your husband believes he's about to deflower a virgin, but you lost your maidenhood months ago to a stable boy. One wrong move, one moment of hesitation, and you'll be dragged to the town square as a false virgin, a crime punishable by death. Your trembling hands reach for the vial as your new husband approaches the bed. This is your last chance to fool him, your family, and God himself. Welcome to the terrifying world of medieval deception, where a woman's survival depended on her ability to fake the most intimate proof of purity. Before diving into these forgotten stories of survival and suffering, if you enjoy learning about the hidden truths of history, consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more content like this. And please comment below to let me know where you're listening from. I find it incredible that we're exploring these ancient stories together from different parts of the world, connected across time and space by our shared curiosity about the past. In medieval times, virginity was more valuable than gold. The law of the false virgin was brutally simple. If a woman couldn't provide proof of virginity on her wedding night, her husband could return her to her family like defective merchandise and demand a refund. In some regions, women who made false virginity claims faced public humiliation, beating, or even execution. This wasn't just about shame, it was about survival. The most common fake virginity method was animal blood. Most medieval households had farm animals, making fresh blood easily accessible. A clever bride would fill a small glass vial with chicken blood and hide it in her jewelry, or use specially carved wax spheres that melted at body temperature. On the wedding night, using darkness as cover, she would spill the blood onto the sheets. Timing was everything. Too early, and the smell might arouse suspicion. Too late, and her husband might notice. According to medieval medical texts, women would rehearse this deception for days, learning exactly where and how much blood to apply. But the risks were enormous. Animal blood smells different from human blood, and experienced husbands or midwives could detect the difference. The coagulation rate was also different, requiring some women to use special preservatives. Perhaps the most shocking method found in medieval medical books was using leeches. The famous text Trotula explicitly describes this. Place leeches in the vagina so that blood comes out, and thus the man will be deceived by the effusion of blood. This method was extremely dangerous. Leeches were uncontrollable. Too little blood, and they were useless. Too much, and the woman could faint from blood loss. Leech bites also carried serious infection risks. Only the most desperate women, typically with help from experienced wise women, dared attempt this technique. The most sophisticated method involved complex herbal preparations. According to Trotula, take the whites of eggs and mix them with water in which pennyroyal and hot herbs have been cooked. With a new linen cloth dipped in it, place it in the vagina 3 times a day. This method didn't just create blood, it also tightened vaginal muscles to fool physical examination. The pennyroyal was a powerful astringent, but also poisonous if used incorrectly. Women had to repeat this process for 9 days, constantly fearing discovery by other household members. Oak bark was prized for its natural astringent properties. Women would dissolve fresh oak bark in rainwater and apply it with linen cloth. The tannic acid would tighten tissues and create small bleeding while forming hymen-like structures. This method required starting a week before the wedding and was particularly popular in rural areas where oak trees were abundant and free. Borrowed from ancient Egypt, natron was a mineral salt with powerful astringent effects. While seemingly simple to use, natron was extremely dangerous. Being alkaline, it could cause severe burns and destroy vaginal flora, leading to serious infections. Women using this method had to use tiny amounts mixed with soothing substances like fish oil or honey to reduce its harsh effects. One of the most creative methods involved using thin membranes from fish reproductive organs to create artificial hymens. Women would soften these membranes in special solutions, shape them to fit their anatomy, and insert them before the wedding night. This technique required exceptional skill and was typically taught by experienced prostitutes or wise women who understood the complex timing and placement required. The most unusual approach combined spiritual and physical deception. According to Finian's penitential, she must live for 6 years on bread and water, and in the 7th year she shall be joined to the altar. And then we say her crown can be restored, and she may don a white robe and be pronounced a virgin. This method relied on the concept of spiritual cleansing through prolonged fasting and prayer. However, women using this approach still needed to employ physical techniques, as husbands required tangible proof. These dangerous techniques were preserved through a clandestine network of women. Mothers taught daughters, midwives shared knowledge, and wise women became the keepers of these deadly secrets. The risks were enormous. Anyone caught teaching these methods could face accusations of witchcraft and execution. Yet, women maintained this network because they had no choice. In medieval society, a non-virgin woman had no right to exist. These methods weren't limited to common women. Katherine of Aragon, Queen of England, was at the center of history's most famous virginity case. When she married Henry VIII, her virginity was questioned because she had previously been married to Henry's brother Arthur. Katherine maintained until her death that she had come to Henry as a virgin. Some historians claim Katherine kept blood-stained sheets from her wedding night for years, presenting them as evidence during divorce proceedings. Whether real or fabricated, we'll never know. All these methods carried lethal risks: infection, blood loss, poisoning. Many women died attempting to fake virginity, but these deaths went unrecorded, considered too shameful for official documentation. The psychological toll was equally devastating. Women lived in constant terror of discovery, developing what we'd now recognize as severe anxiety disorders. Even successful deceptions brought no peace, as the threat of exposure remained throughout their marriages. These medieval practices didn't disappear with time. Similar methods persist today in societies where female virginity is still prized. Modern surgical procedures can reconstruct hymens. Artificial blood capsules create convincing bleeding, and the World Health Organization estimates millions of women worldwide still undergo virginity testing. The technology has advanced, but the fundamental desperation remains unchanged. The most tragic aspect was the system's fundamental contradiction. While society obsessed over physical proof of purity, the very methods used to fake virginity were often more damaging than the sexual experiences they concealed. Women were forced to lie, deceive, and endure physical trauma to maintain the fiction of purity the system claimed to protect. These 7 shocking methods reveal more than historical curiosity. They expose the lengths women will go when survival depends on impossible purity standards. The chicken blood hidden in jewelry, the leeches endured in silence, the poisonous herbs consumed in secret all represent human ingenuity in the face of systemic oppression. The medieval woman, clutching her vial of chicken blood, wasn't just trying to fool her husband. She was fighting for her right to exist in a world that valued her only for physical purity. Her deception was an act of rebellion against a system that would destroy her for being human. Today, as we grapple with issues of bodily autonomy and sexual freedom, these medieval women's courage serves as both inspiration and warning. Their methods may shock us, but their determination to survive despite impossible circumstances should earn our respect. Let me know in the comments what you think about this dark chapter of history. Are there parallels to modern practices? How have attitudes toward female sexuality changed or remained the same? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. And if you want to continue exploring these hidden truths of history, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because every week, we'll continue to uncover the darkest secrets of the past together.